testimony of a small smidgen of what God has been doing and teaching me. One really neat thing was that I had a nephew that was coming, and the Lord put it on my heart to write a book, which I thought was interesting because I like to write, but I don't typically write books. And I was like, well, Lord, if you want me to write a book, you're going to have to give me a book to write because I don't know what to write. And I woke up one morning and he said, go and write this. 20 minutes, done. And I showed it to a friend and they were like, that is so cute. You need to go farther with this than just handing it to this couple. And I prayed about that. And the Lord said, your next step is to find an illustrator. I was like, oh boy. So I prayed about it and the Lord led me to a gal who I actually met when she was 5, but I didn't know we were going to get reconnected in this way. And I was like, Lord, if this is the illustrator you have for me, she needs to read the book and be able to pull from it. And I don't have to tell her what to do. She sees the same vision that I see for it. There's unity. I sent her the book and she writes back, I love this book. I'm going to summarize. I don't care what needs to happen. I want to illustrate this book. Can I give you a sample of my work? We'll worry about payment later. I'm like, that's great, because in the real world, I don't have anything to offer you. That's just the truth. So, let's move forward knowing where we're both at, right? And God will provide. And she said, yes, the Lord will provide. So she sends me some drawings. They're exactly what I want. She sees the same heartbeat for the book. I'm getting really excited. And then nothing. And finally, I was like, well, Lord, like, what's my next step? And I just started praying, Lord, show me what you want me to do next. And I had been off of all social media for like a month and loving it. And I was going to bed and I was going to pick up my little book on the kingdom and keep learning about the kingdom. And the Lord says, get on Facebook. I'm like, I don't know about this. And so as we were working on this, she said, okay, I'm going to send you over my proposal. I'm like, oh yeah, the proposal. About that. I'm like, okay, yeah, just send it over. And in my heart, I began to be concerned, like, well, I don't really have anything to pay her. And I just started praying about it. I'm like, Lord, you asked me to write the book. You directed all these things. I'm not backing up now. You can do this. And then I remembered the verse about God gives seed to the sower. And I'm like, here's the book. It's yours. I'm going to sow the book. So now you take care of it. And I'm going to stand on the promise of your word. And it's done. You will give me seed because that's what the earth world uses. And this book will go out if this is your will. And then she sent me the proposal. Of course, it was way more than I could afford, but I didn't even care. I'm like so excited, can't wait to get started. And I was like, Lord, what do I do? And he brought to mind a friend of mine who probably knew more about books than I did. And I said, okay, I'll just send her the proposal. And I had shown her the book as well. Kind of a random thing. I don't even know why I'd shown it to her, but I did. And I send her the proposal and she's like, this is perfect. I love the way this woman writes. I love what her plan is. I like how well it was laid out and I'm in. And I'm like, I'm in? What does that mean? And the Lord said, she's going to pay for it. And I'm like, oh no, she isn't. She has done so much for me. She owes me nothing. I can't let her do this. And literally he said, you gave the book to me. I gave seed for the sowing. You can struggle or you can let me do it. And I was like, oh my goodness. Yes, sir. Let the girl pay for whatever she wants. And then I also understood giving is better than receiving greater, So I called her up. I said, hey, by the way, what did you mean by I'm in? She said, when you put that book in my lap, before I ever opened it, the Lord told me, invest here. She said, whatever invoice you have, you send it directly to me. And I was like, okay. She's like, you're cool with that? I said, yeah, the Lord talked to me. I'm okay. She said, good. So now we have an author. We have an editor. We have an illustrator. We have an investor. Each person doing their part to bring to life something that's bigger than any 4 of us, which is exactly what the book is about.